guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be giving you guys a fall cut crease inspired look. It is going to be using two different palettes, the Naked 3 and the new Buxom Dolly's Wild Side. I've got some really nice, very full wispy lashes on. This is a very dramatic cut crease, definitely not for the faint-hearted. A nice berry lip with a brown liner. If y'all guys want to see what this fall inspired look is about, definitely stay tuned.
To start this off, I'm going to take my Bare Minerals 5-in-1 BB Advanced Cream Shadow, apply that all over. Then taking my Buxom palette, and I'm going to be starting with the third lightest shade. It's a very nice matte color. Taking my Smashbox double-ended brush and buffing that all over the entire crease section. I'm not going to put it on the lid because I'm going to use a cream white there later, but I'm just throwing this all over the brow bone area. And then I'm going to be taking the second darkest shade. You can see where I tried to cut my crease with a pencil. Wasn't a good idea since I'd already laid that powder down. So I went ahead and just swapped out for a powder instead. And it's blended out way easier this time. So I'm just emphasizing, kind of sketching out where I want that to be before I really go in there with the darkest shades. I did want it to wing out a little bit, so you'll see me kind of extend that wing. I wanted to have that kind of double wing separated space look. Then taking my Naked 3, and I'm going to be taking the darkest shade in there, and we're really going to go in there and just go for it. I'm kind of out of focus or out of frame on this and out of focus, so I apologize, guys. When I get really into what I'm doing, I sometimes forget that I get really close to the mirror. Then I'm going to be taking a dense brush. I believe those are a finishing crease brush. I'm going to take one of the lighter matte shades. Same thing, I apologize, but we're going to go in and we're just going to blend that out. There's nothing special to this. We want to use more of a back and forth buffing motion versus a circular motion because I do want to create that line shape still. So we're just going to go in there and do windshield wiper motions all the way across. And you're going to keep buffing and keep blending. You will blend so much, but it will make your cut crease come out so much better. Don't worry, I can see where you're seeing that sticking to that, where that pencil was at. We will blend that out, do not worry. Taking that same brush, going in there with the second darkest shadow, this time from that Naked 3 palette, and doing the exact same thing we've already been doing, but you're going to notice where this creates a really nice even line. And blend it out some more. Blend for days. Taking that lightest shade in that Naked 3 palette on my double-ended brush and putting that all over that brow bone to really give that eyebrow bone a little pop to it. And we're taking one of those lighter shades and we're going to buff out all those blending colors so that it transitions seamlessly into that brow bone. And keep blending, just keep blending. Go back and forth, because as you blend, you'll take away your darkest shade. So just go back and forth. It's a lot of that. Now we're going to move on to the lid. I'm going to take a Sally Hansen brush. I believe it's from Sally's. And I honestly don't know what kind of brush it is. It's just a flat style brush. And I'm going to be taking that white cream concealer from my eBay concealer palette. I will link it below in my Amazon store so you guys can pick that up if you want to. I'm going to be sketching out that eyelid with that so that I get a really nice defined crease. You're going to notice I just kind of go back and forth. You can't really get it all in one go. You're just going to want to go small sections at a time and then pulling downwards. You don't want to use a windshield wiper motion on this. And this is just where it'll really become really clean and put together. Then I'm going to take my finger and buff that out. I find my warmth from my finger really blends out the concealer really well, especially on the lid area. Then I'm going to take my NYX Trio and take that brightest white in there and just take a nice flat top brush from Sephora. Packing that all over the lid, defining that lid a little bit more and setting that in place. Kat Von D Trooper Liner. I had to do that off camera, sorry guys. We're going to use the Porefessional Pore Minimizing Balm to really smooth out that skin before you put anything on. Fix my headphones, they were getting in the way. I really like this. I call it a primer, but it's really not a primer. It doesn't make your makeup stick better, but it does smooth it out. Then we're going to use the NYX HD Concealer in Lavender. I really like this for the under eye. You're going to notice once I buff it out, it honestly kind of looks like I've already got concealer on. But when I'm filming especially, or if I'm taking a lot of pictures, it really makes that under eye as bright as possible. Now that that's buffed in, I'm going to be taking my Revlon Color Stay Foundation and one of my Sigma brushes, the Flat Top Kabuki. I'm going to be buffing that all over the whole face using stippling motions and soft buffing motions around the exterior of my face. And just building up that coverage where needed. When I'm doing a really dramatic eye look like this, I like to start with the eyes first in case I have any fallout. I can, kind of wipe that away before I do my foundation. It's all personal choice. There's no right or wrong way. And then I'm going to take my LA Pro Girl Concealer. And this is in shade Nude, I believe. And I'm going to be using that to slightly bronze the face. Not really contour, but just give it a little color back to the perimeter of it. And buffing that in with the same brush that I used to apply my foundation with. Then I'm going to take my concealer palette and use one of the darker shades in there to go ahead and further contour. I am using this one more as a contour, and I'm putting it just in the darkest areas and then buffing it outward. I'm going to be taking my Wet n Wild concealer. Not a huge fan of this one. The only reason I got away with using it is because I used that color corrector underneath, so I didn't have to use very much. If you notice, I can't really apply a lot. It's not very creamy, it kind of sticks. Not really, honestly, a recommendation. It's fine for filming, but I wouldn't honestly wear it outside of my house. I'm just going to be using my ring finger to blend that out. With this one, I found my finger buffed it out better because it just barely moved it around. A brush would have moved it a little too much for my personal preference. Then I'm going to be taking my Bare Minerals Translucent Pressed Powder. I'm be using that under the eyes, kind of baking. You can see where I really apply it heavy. I'm going to use that to kind of bake the under eyes, let that set, and then I'm just going to lightly apply it on the other highlights of my face. Then I'm going to use that same foundation that I have, and I'm going to clean up my wings while I'm there, just where any of that shadow may not have been really crisp or clean. I really wanted a really crisp look today, but I'm not a big fan of using tape, so I just kind of use this to clean it up, and then I'm setting it with that powder. And then here I'm taking that larger brush, setting the large areas of my highlights, the rest of my forehead, the rest of my under eyes, the bridge of my nose, the chin, and then underneath my contour to give a little bit sharper of a contour. Then I'm going to take my Kat Von D powder foundation. It's the little darker shade. It actually gives me a little bit of warmth to the skin, and I'm going to set the rest of the face. Then I'm taking Cashmere Coat from Sephora, which is just an eyeshadow. It's in a really, almost like an ash brown color. I'm going to be using that to really contour out those cheekbones, and the forehead, the sides of the nose as well. And then I'm going to take a brush with no extra product, and I'm going to just blend out that cut crease down my nose. Take a little bit of, I believe it is Mooner, and I use that as a blush quite often actually. I'm going to be putting that on both sides just as a nice cool tone blush. I find warm tones don't look as good on my cheeks. Cool tones seem to flatter my skin a little bit better. And I kind of went ham on one side and had to go back in there and build it up on the other, but you need to go back and forth until you're happy with it. And then I'm going to take that highlighting brush that I highlighted with and buff that out. I'm then taking one of the lighter shimmery shades from that Naked 3 palette, and I'm going to be putting that all on my highlight on my cheekbone to give me a really nice luminized glow to the skin. You can see how that seriously is making my skin almost look like it's wet. It was so pretty. I had never done that before with that shade, but I really liked it. Then we're going to go in Buxom. I'm going to take the 2 lighter shades from the Buxom palette. I'm going to be buffing those all over as an illuminizer as well. Then we're going to take our Makeup Forever Aqua Eyes. It is a taupe eyeliner, and we're using that as a lip liner. I find the waterproof one just stays so well, and I really like this shade. It's pretty universal. It goes with pretty much everything. Then I'm going to be taking, I believe this is Hazelnut from Bite. I love Bite lipsticks. I'm going to be applying that all over and then buffing out, using that to buff out the edges so that there's no harsh lines from where my liner stops and my lipstick starts. Then I'm going to be taking the Naked 3 palette again and taking that Nooner as well and just very lightly buffing that under my eyes with a smudge brush to give it very subtle definition. Since I went with a lot going on the top, I didn't want to make too much going on the bottom, so I just kept it very soft under the eyes. I'm going to do my brows off camera and I'll be back.
Alright, so I have thrown some lashes on, mascara, and I did my brows, and yeah, that's it. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Be sure to like and comment below, and be sure that you check me out on all my other social medias. I'll leave all of that information down in the description below. And remember, it's your life. Make it beautiful.